All right, we're live up in here again. Yo, this is Tech, Etc. This is episode 7, I think.
Is it 7 or 8?
I know at some point I'm going to lose count, so I'm going to stick with 7 right now. It's been an interesting week. A little bit of a gap between our last episode, but a lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff went down. E3. This is the E3 episode, just giving you a fair warning. We're just going to talk about some games and stuff because that's just what's been going on. Tech world's been kind of quiet. I mean, we had the iPads drop, the Surface did. Now we're kind of waiting for like AMD Threadripper prices to officially get announced and some Vega cards. But other than that, we got a couple more. We got like a month before it's like the Note 8, then the iPhone, and then it's gonna like start that cycle of computers and stuff like that. But I'm here with my co-host who's stressed and relieved at the same time.
Yes, I am. Oh, I can't believe I just dropped 200 on another fight stick. Oh my god. You know, Alpha called it too. He's like, you're gonna become a fight stick a junkie. I'm like, no, I'm not. I got this under lock and key. Dude,
I said the same thing to you. I said, go ahead and just get the shelf because you're gonna have fight sticks, and you still haven't even got one for the Switch, which is coming.
Oh man, yo, I forgot about it.
Yo, why did I even remind you about this?
Oh.
Yo, this is like that gamer life of like just wanting stuff. Oh, see, that looks like the one you wanted for the Xbox. Now you can just have it for the Switch.
And it works on PC.
Let me tell you something, guys. Mekel Casanova, you're gonna start seeing his videos. There's gonna be his backdrop is gonna be like a wall of fight sticks and amiibos and stuff. I mean, he just got to embrace what he signed up for. Should have never went down his rabbit hole that Razer fight stick.
No.
Soon as you went down that hole and realized that there aren't any, checked eBay, there's one.
And I'm gonna end up buying this.
One in all of eBay. What's this one?
The Tekken.
Oh yeah, the Tekken one. Yo, that one is crazy still. But that might actually be a good buy because it only ships in 1 to 2 months, so they only charge you when it ships.
Really?
Yeah, they don't charge you right away. They charge you when your item ships.
Next check, I'm buying it.
Yo, he about to have two of the dopest fight sticks on Xbox One even available. It ain't even none anyways. That's the thing. We went checking and realized that that Razer one doesn't exist.
Yes, we're in the streets, just so y'all know.
Yo, you all know how this goes down. Like, we're not popping yet in the studio. Okay, we get to that point, big things is happening. Okay, we in the studio recording. That means we doing it. Yeah. So, are you all right over there? You wanna?
I'm not telling who I just bought this.
Yo, does she listen to this podcast? Yeah, not yet. This would be the episode. She's like, I will listen to episode 7. You're like, nah, you need to go back to episode 1 and take your time. By the time she makes it here, it'll already be said and done. I don't know if you're going to be able to hide that giant box that's going to come rolling in. Listen, just next time you get paid, just go ahead and just send the money off for that. Just be like, done. There's nothing.
Wait, what? I just want to state for the record that I straight dragged. Oh! Wow.
What? So, truly the gaming episode. So Mekel over here playing somebody and call somebody out in Tekken 7. I saw the match. I mean, he did lose. He caught one perfect. I mean, it happens to everybody. But his boy over here called him out on Facebook with the full on tag. Oh, you gonna? You really gonna put the picture of the fight stick, yo? You better be in the dojo, okay, getting it in. You need to be in there making sure that your Jin is masterful, because he's gonna be coming. You know he's gonna say something. The game's not about to be played. You're done catching L's on Xbox because of the controller.
For real.
Anyways, we're gonna dive into this E3 stuff. I know it's kind of like a week and a half later. But you know what? This stuff is still relevant because there's a group of videos on YouTube. Everybody's talking about what's going on, what happened, what dropped, and this and that. I mean, we've had our own little things through Polytext, like our little thoughts. We did tens. We did a stream with DV about the Xbox One X right after it happened. Me and Mekel, we went to the Sony thing at the movie theater, which was cool. I liked it. I mean, of course, not in the very beginning when they had technical difficulties. That jump was silent. I was like, I thought it was us, but then I realized it was everybody.
That dude looked like he did not. He had that blank stare. I was like, yo.
Let's go on there. What are your thoughts on it? Like, I know we never talked about. I mean, we kind of talked in our Telegram, like texting, but what's your overall thing of like, how does Sony do? I'm gonna go there first because that's kind of been like a little bit of a. I've seen two sides of the coin. People saying like they knocked it out the park, and then I'm seeing some people like, yo, this jump was kind of dry. And I don't know. I have my own thoughts, but what are yours?
I know a lot of people have been saying the same, exactly what you said. Like, it was dry or knocked it out of the park. Honestly, my opinion is it was consistent. I mean, we saw more of what they're going to reveal. We already know. Like, a lot of people are mad thinking that 2017 is going to be a dry year for Sony. But, I mean, they already came out with bangers at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think from their E3 of 2016, the games they showed there, we finally got.
Yeah.
And I think E3 is kind of, I mean, I was joking too that it was E3 2018 edition because every game that got released was like 2018. And I guess we're all going to have to just accept the fact that when they're showing these games at E3, they're about 9 to 12 months out.
Yeah.
And I think it used to be E3 back in the day. It was like, those games are about to drop in August, September, October, November, December. In that span, those 5 months, those games are going to fall in. But now, I think by nature, the size of these games and the ambition and the power and what they want to do, I guess we're going to have to start accepting development cycles being way longer. Like when they announced the game, like it ain't coming through anytime soon. Like Sea of Thieves is happening in November. They announced that last year and they had already been working on it. So it's like, yeah, we got to kind of wait.
Yeah, I mean, and you also got to think of it too. Like a lot of people, I don't feel like are thinking about 2018 being a really. I mean, this year has already been crazy being a gamer.
Yeah,
the amount of games coming out, and then next year between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
Yeah, because Nintendo's finally in the place. I mean, they did just drop their what is it? The Switch, and that happened. When did that happen? March 3rd. Yeah, so they just had that happen. So I understand that like some people are like, man, when is that stuff gonna happen? But my thoughts on Sony is that, like you said, they were consistent. Now, I kind of feel like where people have an issue is that one, I think the big thing was that there is no Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
and I'm killing them for that VR game.
Oh my.
Yo, that Final Fantasy VR fishing game was treated ash. Okay? I do not care what anybody tells me. I come to your house and you playing VR fishing, I'm slapping the controller out your hand. Go get a Dreamcast and get bass fishing. Okay, stop playing. I'm over here. Fishing in VR? Oh my God. Yo, anybody buying a $300 accessory to play a fishing game that probably isn't as good as Pro Bass that we had years ago. Like, come on now.
You know, that really just goes to tell you that Square really doesn't know what to do with Final Fantasy. They're kind of just whoring that game out, that franchise out to anything.
All people were excited about was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've been on this podcast talking about how I don't like remakes of games necessarily when there could be something fresh, like making the Crash Bandicoot thing. I saw it on the Sony thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. They got me in the nostalgia heart. I was like, oh snap, it looks fun again. But it kind of would be, and I understand why they didn't do it because they're putting their bets on Knack 2, and I'm gonna give Knack 2 a chance. It showed well when I saw it. I was like, it looks decent. It's not as like, this might sound crazy to people, but most people ain't gonna even agree with this, but Super Lucky Tails looked more appealing to me than Knack 2.
No, I agree with you.
And also gonna be like, you're crazy. Super Lucky Tails looks like a fake Tails from Sonic mixed with Mario, and I get it. It kind of uses a lot of those elements and stuff, but I don't know. It just like that looked to me like just a fun platformer. And Knack, it kind of looks really Spartan. Maybe that's why like the way the worlds look and how they play, it just looks really cold and Spartan looking. I'm like, I understand, I guess, by the nature of what Knack is. It just doesn't have that like environment that's inviting, especially when you're going from like Knack 2 and then Nintendo comes and smacks it out the park with Mario Odyssey, and you're like, yo, forget it. Don't even attempt to make a platformer if it ain't on these levels. But I think the thing about Square and Sony is that, like I said, everybody wants to see Final Fantasy VII. I did too. The last time they showed this game, they showed a quick clip, and it was, where was it at? It was like last year. It was like, oh, you saw the back of his sword or something, and that was it. I actually thought Monster Hunter World was Final Fantasy VII for like a brief second. Like when they were showing, I was like, oh snap, it's going down. And I was like, now Monster Hunter World is nuts, okay? Like, let me tell y'all something. Monster Hunter World is gonna be bonkers, okay? Now that was a highlight for me. I saw that and I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening. Like, we're doing this. So that's a big game, and that's a big title for Sony, but I realized it didn't resonate with everybody, because if you don't play Monster Hunter, then Monster Hunter World, like, if you don't understand the jokes, like him cooking the meat and like chasing stuff, like, to you just like, what's he just chasing around T-Rexes or shooting them? Like, that's cool. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, if you don't play Monster Hunter, then it's not going to be enough for you. Other games, Spider-Man looks incredible. I'm straight up, like that video they showed of it, I was like, yo, Spider-Man, this looks serious.
Yeah.
Like, this looks mad fun. Now, I'll give them that. And I see why they waited to the end, because that's their banger for the holiday season. Yeah. That's their going up against Mario, even though it is Spider-Man, but so is Mario's Mario. Honestly, I don't know what Microsoft has for those two, and I mean, that's me being, unbiased, and I like Xbox.
I wouldn't really
Crackdown. I wouldn't, because I mean, Mario Odyssey and Spider-Man are those are heat rocks. Those aren't just normal games. Those are really built out, and I know Microsoft like the Xbox One X. We're going to jump into that in a minute, but I was thinking, I was like, what do they have that's like a banger? It's something that's really gonna like have people. I know with the One X they kind of have the hardware in the Forza 7 and the 4K, and that's enough for me because I'm a racing game fan. But I was just thinking in my head, like, do they have like where's a platform level game or something like that they have that really is like, a canon for the rest of the industry? Because Nintendo, y'all want to talk about like a run. Like, y'all give Nintendo his props for what they pulled off, because it was Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, Mario and Rabbids, and then Mario Odyssey in 1 year.
Then we got, what's the other one? The ARMS, which is a banger.
Oh yeah, they got ARMS too. So they've done their job, and they've done it well. And applause to Nintendo from coming back from the depths of obscurity with the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people were like, "Yo, get them up out of here."
I'll say this. I was kind of surprised that they didn't show Gran Turismo as part of the main part of their E3 showing. What they show, and this is probably going to spark some fanboys that love Gran Turismo, but I just feel like at this point, they've waited so long, and Forza has just come, exceeded, and
progressed.
For real.
I said the same thing when we were at the movie theater watching. I said, this is actually kind of telling.
Yeah.
That Gran Turismo isn't on the main stage. And I know for some, they're like, oh, it's just a racing game, it doesn't matter. I'm like, nah, racing games matter as much as any game, because the racing game community, the reason why we make Need for Speed, like, for when that Payback looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they sell well, people like them. I'm a huge racing game fan, like huge. I pretty much buy all racing games digital because them joints ain't going nowhere. Now, yeah, Gran Turismo not being on the main stage kind of made me take a step back, and I was like, yo, how come that didn't get more of a rollout. Like, they just stumbled into it like, oh, yeah, guess what? Gran Turismo Sport, let's show a clip. I'm like, I could have saw this clip on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, and Microsoft rolled out Forza 7 with the reveal of a new car that nobody in the automotive industry has seen yet. It was all we saw of that GT2 RS was it on a track in camouflage. That was the first time I ever physically saw the thing for real. Anybody, they said this is a world debut of a car in the game. They showed Forza 7 running at 4K looking absolutely nuts. And I'm like, that's a rollout. And I think it goes to say something when people are like, oh, it's just a racing game. I'm like, yeah, but when Gran Turismo was on top of its game, that was a premier title. That was a big deal. Like, and Gran Turismo still is a big deal. Like, if you look in the automotive industry, when they have this big show in Vegas called SEMA, where all these car manufacturing aftermarket companies come together to like make cars, performance cars, and make show cars and things like that, show new products. They have this thing called the Gran Turismo Award to the person who has one of the best builds, and then they put that game digitally into Gran Turismo. So GT is still a big deal. And so that's why I'm strong on it, in my opinion, when it comes to how the game is being represented, because after 4, it's been downhill, and Forza has been a trajectory that's been going up. And I'm like, yo, Gran Turismo, where you at? And so when Sony didn't show them on the big stage, I'm like, yo, what's this little fly-by-night, yo, Gran Turismo Sport is coming out, here you go. I'm like, that's kind of weak. Considering that years ago, and everybody's argument like, oh, it's just another racing game. I'm like, yo, stop it. Years ago, Gran Turismo got like a solid like 10 minutes. They sat up there with Polyphony Digital talking about the game. They've had documentaries on the developer. I mean, like, that dude is a staple within the community and a big deal. So to say like racing games are just like, oh, it's another Forza, it doesn't really matter. That's a cop-out. The thing is, so far the rollout for Gran Turismo doesn't seem as exciting as Forza.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the game called, what's it called? No, that wasn't. I was gonna say Way Out. Whatever game they showed for Sony that had like, I want to say zombies, but not. I'm done with zombies. I've already said this enough times.
Days Gone.
Days Gone kind of reminded me of like World War Z, the movie with Brad Pitt,
yeah,
where it was like kind of zombie-ish, but everybody was infected with the disease, so they're acting crazy. It kind of had that feel, and maybe I could accept it because it was in an environment that wasn't like Call of Duty or Dead Island 3 or, you know,
I actually thought
Dead Rising.
For a hot second, I thought it was The Last of Us too.
Oh yeah, I thought so too. I'm not. Yeah, I was looking at like, what is it? So it has a good backdrop. So I'm actually looking to see what that game is, because it had a good story just for that quick moment. Like, he was trying to save somebody who got captured, and they're in the midst of like barricading these people, and it's like everything is like really right on top of you. That looked interesting. What else did they show?
That Detroit Become Human looked official.
See, I didn't like it at first, but then I looked into more of it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But maybe because like as the demo's going on, I was like, okay, I'll tell you why. You know what got me like thinking about the game? I was like, this is odd. Okay, that main character looks like the celebrity. What's that dude's name? Jesse Williams.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that did that speech about like Black Lives Matter when he won, like, I forgot what it was. Was it an Emmy or a Tony?
Oh yeah.
Tell me that the character looks like this dude, and it kind of threw me off. I was like, why does this guy look like this celebrity? Like, is that him? Like, the whole time I was like, is he in a game like this? I'm like, this looks kind of crazy. This dude looks just like him. I'm like, this is a little strange. So while I was looking at the game, I was kind of thinking about that the whole entire time. Like, this is odd. But that game was dope. So, I mean, Sony was consistent. Let me jump into... Sony did what they're going to do. It's just that, I guess last year... Here's the thing. The lack of indie games was kind of one of the things where it kind of felt like there was something missing.
It looks like because it kind of comes off that they're kind of turning their back on it. Like, if you look at how when they initially dropped the PS4, they were all about the indies.
The indies are massive.
Yeah, and now that Microsoft I mean, if you look at their E3, Microsoft was kind of over.
They did this. They kind of took their playbook in a sense where they're like, all right, we're going to show you 44 games. Now, I get the whole Xbox One X exclusive, Xbox One launch exclusive, all that. Yeah, it's a finesse of the exclusive word, but I mean, we've already been doing this. Like, this ain't nothing new. They've been using that. Exclusive, aside from in-house IPs, has kind of been the same. We already know what it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
So, Microsoft showing those indie titles is dope. I already said, the one called The Last Night looked the dopest to me, just for the aesthetics. Dunk Lords, we already talked about that.
Yo, we got 2 seconds?
There is the one called Galactic Night or something like that, where they're on space. For me, actually, the Xbox One X did well because, and it was obviously Xbox, not just the One X. After they announced it, the indie titles for me were really exciting. Now I know they don't take advantage of necessarily the 4K aspect of it, but one thing to know is that, like DV and like even Steele said, when you have more power, you can get more consistency. So even though Microsoft's marketing is going to be true 4K this, that, and the third, it's cool. But what that means is 1080p at 60 frames is a lock-in.
Yeah.
That means details a lock-in. That means depth of field is a lock-in. The distance in the foreground is a lock. Those type of things matter. And that conversation kind of gets lost on the fact that, and it's in part to Microsoft's campaigning that it's a 4K machine, that gets kind of lost on the public where they're just you see these videos, it ain't true 4K. They're going to do the checkerboarding thing that Sony's doing. It ain't the true gen. Sony's going to make the PS5 and it's going to knock it out the water. And that's what I was saying today in Telegram. I was like, yo, if Sony makes a PS5, it ain't coming out in 2018. We already know this, right? They didn't announce it in E3. They ain't got nothing up their sleeve that well. Even in E3 2018, if they announce it, it's probably just like they did with the Scorpio, where it's see us in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And my thing is this. If Sony does that, they're basically taking the same approach that Microsoft did. The difference between their consoles is $100, right?
Yeah.
If they release a PS5 and it's, we see what the Xbox One X is. The PS5 would probably edge it out. I don't know if it's gonna do a double, quadruple change, but even if it did, what would stop Microsoft from being well, we made one too? Because the distance and time isn't enough, you know what I mean? Right now, I think what Microsoft did is they kind of weathered the storm at the right point. Sony's going to release a PS5. They're going to be okay, you can let's say they wait a year, but you can take it for the year. You can take off with it. Now, next year, we're about to come and we're going to up you again within the same generation. Now we're going to push it further. And that's my thing. It's both of them are playing this game who's going first. I don't include Nintendo in this because Nintendo has already stated their claim, and I've always said this. They don't play in this fight that Sony and Microsoft have. That's kind of just them that's just what they're going to do because they're bigger companies, so to speak. But if they're going to release that means Microsoft has something in line too. If they really wanted to do it, they could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are. At this point, all we have is One X and PS4 Pro, so honestly, I don't even like having that discussion because all I want to see them is take advantage of what the PS4 Pro can do and what the One X can do. All this talk about PS5 is kind of they don't want them to do nothing with the Pro. Horizon Zero Dawn on the Pro looks incredible, as does Uncharted. So there's something there, checkerboarding or not, or whatever technical terms you want to use for how they're achieving higher resolution and fidelity. It still looks good. So if you're a fan of Sony, you want them to take advantage of the Pro as much as Xbox fans want them to take advantage of the One X. And if you like both systems, you want both.
Yeah.
So all this PS5 is good. I'm y'all, nobody want nothing with the Pro now? Y'all just want them to jump straight into the 5. I'm come on now, let's get something out of these joints. It's probably going to be a 2-year span, but let's get something out of it, right? That's all hearsay. We don't know what the future's going to hold when it comes to these systems. But I'll be there day one on the One X. You can believe that, okay?
I think we're the only two in our group that's gonna get it day one.
Probably, but that's cool because Forza 7. I think Keith might get it actually because of that.
Yeah. Oh no, I think he is. He's gonna get day
Listen, I'm a racing game fan, so Forza 7 was enough for me to show up. And Also, keep in mind this. I bought my Xbox One Day 1 edition on day 1 in 2013. So, it's been 4 years for me. For me, I've got my value out of the system. I'm also not going to get rid of... I have 2. I'm probably going to... I don't know if they're going to do, like, any, like, trade-in or anything like that. We're about to knock over mics. I don't know if they're going to do any trade-in, but I'm going to try to get something out of my day 1. To be honest, I'll be surprised. I think the only person I can see doing something is GameStop, maybe doing, like, a... Because they did it for, like, the Wii U, and that had been out for the same amount of time for the Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that for the One, at least they say Xbox One, but they might try to play me and be like, if you got a 1S, you can trade that in for it. I'm going to be like, y'all played me. You played me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of my Day 1 edition, too.
Yeah.
Because I got...
You have two S's. But see, I still would want an S because what I'm thinking about doing is I'm actually probably going to get the 1X and a 4K monitor because... I was going to get a TV, but then I realized something. I was like, oh, snap. If I put a 4K TV, then I'm going to be the one hogging up the TV in the living room, and that's not cool for the rest of the family because I'm going to be in there like, yo, chill, Forza 7, get out. You know what I'm saying? So then I was telling Andrea, I was like, I'm just going to get a monitor because that makes the most sense right now.
Yeah.
But I need to actually get a 1S because I want to do 4K on the TV with like Netflix and other videos, and the One can't output that. So I actually still need to get an S. This sounds crazy. I know. It sounds nuts. But I was thinking about this. I was like, unless I go get like if I can forego that and I can just say, I can go buy like a Roku 4K or something like that and do the same thing. I don't have to have an Xbox One S. If it costs the same, though, I'll probably just get a 1S, to be honest. But I can just get like a media player. But anyways, so Sony did cool. Nintendo did great if you're a Nintendo fan.
A lot of people complaining about Nintendo showing.
Well, if you don't care for there is this world that people don't really care about another Mario. I'll keep it 100. There are some folks that don't care. Another Mario for them don't mean nothing. Like it looks, for me, it's the platforming of it. Like Mario does platforming. And I'll be honest, for me, I'm gonna play Mario Odyssey more than I probably will play Zelda. Because for me, Mario was always like, I was in that joint all day. So, it's a big deal. I guess the Metroid Prime thing was cool. To be honest, though, I wish they wouldn't even have shown that, because it's just like, they showed the title and they're like, that's it. I'm like, come on, guys. Y'all could have had like an after the E3, after DirecTV Treehouse conversation and mention that you're doing a Metroid Prime. How you not going to show that? I kind of wanted to see Smash Brothers. Now that I haven't seen Smash Brothers, it does actually give me hope that they're actually making a new Smash Brothers as opposed to just trying to clean up the one that was on Wii U for the Switch. So on one hand, I'm glad I didn't see it because that kind of means that maybe they're working on something more for real as far as like an update to the version.
Yeah.
And what else did they show? What did I miss? I'm forgetting.
They showed, for Nintendo's E3, they showed Hyrule Warriors. Well, Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
That looked dope.
That was good.
Yeah, that was one I'm looking forward to. They showed... Man, what did they show?
We completely forgot. We're like, yo,
hold up right now.
Hold up, we're about to pull this up. Unprepared. I thought I had it in my head, but clearly I don't.
It's been a minute though.
It's just because so much information came out. It was like Nintendo, Sony, and all this, and then now we're still getting reaction videos about people talking about the 1X and everything else, and Nintendo and blah blah blah. So it's like 50 million things happening at one time. Oh, you know what? I forgot the 2DS is dropping.
Yeah, we need to. Okay. Thought I had
no list on it, but it's cool. We already know what Nintendo's gonna do. Honestly, the biggest thing that they announced was Mario. Oh, and the Mario Rabbids one was dope. And I'm glad that's actually dropping in August, which is cool because it's time to play with that little strategy game and gear up for.
I kind of think people don't understand there needs to be spacing between titles. Like,
Well, I mean, for those that have multiple consoles, we would definitely like a little bit more spacing instead of one day, 18 games. These junks is $60 a piece, people. If 4 games drop I want, that's not $240 that I'm putting out, okay? Some people can, but not your boy, okay? When I got other things going on, family and kids and stuff, I'm not just running up in GameStop willy-nilly like, yeah, which here's $300. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot. And then it's also the time. Like, everybody's time is constrained, to be honest. Like, living, like, out here in Hawaii, like, my time is strained just from not even just work and family. It's just kind of like, I like doing stuff outside sometimes. So it's a nice day. I'm like, I'm going to the beach something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I come back late. I'm like, play for a second. I'm falling asleep, So it's like, when you're active, when you're young and active, young family, like you and Lehua, you guys is out and about, you like to go out. It's like you come back and it's like you got like a solid 2 hours to like bang it out before you're like, and I'm going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day it's a whole list of other things going on. Like last night, like I came from work yesterday, but I had like a headache because I was like reading something on our computer at work, but I was like too close to the screen, so I got like this nauseous headache and I had to like walk home, so that was like trash because I'm like walking home hot because I'm like not feeling great, so I'm like trying to walk fast, this mile, and I'm like, yo, let me not pass out in these streets. It's like, yo, because that'll not be cool. So I got home and like took some acid and fell asleep, woke up at 9 o'clock. I got home at 6. 3.5 hours later, I wake up like, what just happened? So I was playing Titanfall till like 3:30 in the morning, like because I got on there and like we're in some like heated matches, and it was like the same people. This guy kept doing this like private match, and it was intense.
I need to get back on that.
See, every time I play Titanfall and I have a good time, I'm like, this game is so fun. Now, sometimes that Titanfall can be frustrating because like, yo, if you get a bad team, oh god, you just get aired out. Like every time you come into a room, I kill one person, I die. I'm like, wow. Seriously, I'm like looking at the scoreboard and I see I got 10 kills and the rest of my team got 2, 3, and 1 and like 18 minions, or 18 grunts. I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, oh, speaking of that, I'm not gonna lie, and I'll give it to Activision for their marketing skills, but Call of Duty World War II was looking crazy. Yo, Joshua, he came to me the other day. He was like, yo, I think I'm getting down on Call of Duty. Now, remember I told you, Josh used to be, on Modern Warfare 2, he was a monster. I'm not even going to halfway front. Like, his skill level on first-person shooters and Call of Duty Modern Warfare was second to none. I remember watching him when I was first dating Andrea, like, because he had his Xbox next to the TV in the living room. Mm-hmm. And I would watch him play, and I'm like, yo, how you got, like, 40 kills? Like, he was running through people. I was like, you need to calm down. You're going too crazy. So he's getting back on that. Oh, we got Destiny 2. Oh, yo. There's not enough time. The Destiny 2 grind is going to be serious. I don't know who else is joining. Me and Josh is in there. I know you getting it. I'm going to be going hamster on this thing, okay? Like,
since our schedules are better. See, that's the thing. We have to schedule time. And the fact that there's so many games. I got games I still haven't opened.
Yeah, no, you got a problem. Okay, you need to go to Gamers Anonymous. You need to sit down with some people and talk to them.
Dude, some of the games I picked up, when I go to the stores now, they're like, oh, they're not on the island anymore. Like, that's how rare some of the games I'm grabbing.
Oh, yeah.
That Valkyrie Azure, that's going to be, apparently that's going to be rare.
Wait, when does that come out?
Tuesday.
Wait, that's the new Valkyrie Chronicles, correct?
Yes, sir.
What system it come out for again?
PS4, Xbox One, PC. I think it's multiplayer too. You know what? My Injustice can get traded.
Valkyrie Chronicles.
I got the Injustice.
Valkyrie, man, you didn't even play.
No, Lehua wanted it.
Oh, Lehua
She got it.
See, Injustice was cool on TV and watching people on streams, but like I never can get it because I'm just like, it's just not enough. I don't know if it's enough depth for me. I don't know.
No.
I kind of just like I want to get Tekken 7. I'm going to get that. But now I'm like, dang, Valkyrie's coming out? Yo, Valkyrie Chronicles 1 and 2 was so good. I finished Chronicles on PS2, and I also had finished that other RPG called Dadia Stories. Is that how you say it?
Radiator.
Yeah. I still have the disc.
That's coming out on the 3DS.
Oh, really? I still have the disc for that thing for PS2. Like, I played that. I don't know. Did I beat that? I feel like I did. But maybe I didn't. But, I mean, that's so long ago. That's like, what, 2004?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's 13 years. I mean, like, I don't remember everything. But, man, Chronicles dropping Tuesday. See, like, this is the life we're talking about. So, Nintendo got their stuff coming out.
I think this is perfect for, like, RPGs. It's perfect having them portably. Because it's, like, the time to...
But that Valkyrie, is it coming on the Switch?
Maybe.
But later.
Yeah. And see, okay, that's another topic we can hop into. People getting mad that the Switch is not getting a lot of these games. And it's not even that it can't handle it. A lot of these companies...
They're not making stuff for the Switch. Let's just keep it 100. Like, the Wii U fiasco and all that, like, these developers, they're not really privy to putting stuff on the Switch right now. Now, it'll probably change, but, I mean, what can you do, right? One thing that we should be happy about is that Nintendo has such a stash of games that you could rely on Nintendo to
and they've never done that.
To supply your entire...
Have they?
What?
Like a new game every month? I don't think they've ever done that.
Maybe with the Wii. The Wii U was just kind of like their moment where just things like kind of just hit like really, really slow. Because I remember when I first bought the Wii U, I bought it the day one as well. It, like, after the day one, like the first 3 months, it kind of went into a moment where, like, there was no third-party support. It was like everybody just bounced. And I think it was because, one, they made the Switch is what they wanted the Wii U to be before they could get there.
Yeah.
And they made the mistake of calling it Wii U as opposed to calling it something else. And because the Wii was such a smash success across all fronts, it was like people that had the Wii were like, why would I want a Wii U? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want... That felt more incremental than it was in reality just by the marketing. Like, in reality, the hardware was more powerful. But the fact that they called it Wii U, I don't think people are... I know they're trying to do that as Succession, but Nintendo doesn't get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to naming their consoles the same name but adding a letter to it or a number, like Xbox One, 1S, X, you know what I'm saying? PS4, Pro, PS5. Nintendo doesn't get that same love because they went Super Nintendo, and they went Nintendo to Super Nintendo, then it was like N64. Then it was GameCube. So then, like, after Super Nintendo, it was kind of like they were making up these cool names. N64, GameCube, Wii. And then it was like Wii U. It was like, wait, what's this? You know, and so now they went to Switch. So it's like they kind of went back to this world where they're like, we're making different type of consoles, different type of names, and we're going to make sure that they're targeting something unique, you know? And I think it's a culmination of the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, all inside of the Switch. I mean, you could tell. GameCube was trying to be portable. The Wii was trying to bring everybody together with motion controls and a more of a family thing. The Wii U was trying to implement a way of being portable by having a gamepad. And now you have the Switch, which brings all that together. So Nintendo's in a good place now. They're knocking out the park. The only thing left is them getting their online together and voice chat and figuring out what this little app thing is going to be. We've already talked about that before, like with the app. So I mean, we just kind of wait for that. But as far as that, then there was Microsoft with the Xbox, and I mean, I'm excited for the One X. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. I'll be there. I want to pre-order that. Can you pre-order yet?
I'm gonna check now. I don't think you can.
Because I know I keep saying like the FCC has to like approve this. I'm like, yo, FCC, stop playing. Like, we don't have time for that. Like, y'all need to hurry up. I will. So the more I read about the One X, I want to get at the Microsoft store because I'm pretty sure they're going to do some like random party or something, and we need to be in the building. You know what I'm saying? I need to be there. I kind of also want to put a pre-order at GameStop in case something crazy happens. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people will be like, yeah, ain't nobody going to buy it. Just like they said with the Switch. And y'all are running around in the streets trying to holler at your boys Craigslist ad, trying to get my Switches out flipping. Okay? Don't sleep. Every time people sleep, $4.99 or not, people are copying. Okay? Understand me. They're buying. So if you want one, don't play around and come trotting up in there the day after, the week later, the month later before Christmas trying to get one wrapped up under the tree because you're going to get disrespected. Your feelings are going to be hurt. Okay?
Yeah. The other thing with the... Okay, so this is something that Microsoft is doing that I don't feel like any console has done thus far, and that is having one console that plays all the generations of it. So now you can select original Xbox games, the 360 games, you got the Game Pass, and Xbox One. And that's, a lot of people don't get that. And even Sony slipped up when they made that comment, nobody plays backwards compatible.
Yo, people really brushed over the fact that we're now about to have an Xbox One 360 and one library all playable on one console. I mean, like, where's the love for that? If Sony would get their act together, they would crack open a PlayStation 2 library and watch the floodgates open.
They actually removed it from PlayStation 4. They had a section where you can get them, and they got rid of it after that statement that nobody plays.
That's just dumb. It's like, I know they're trying to find a reason. See, the thing about Sony is they're trying to find a reason that there's a bottom line. Like, are we making money from having these games on the system? Like, does that matter? Or are we losing money for trying to support the infrastructure to have backwards compatibility on an old console? But you should have it because, yo, guess what? We want to play. Where's Zone of the Enders 3 at? Huh? You ain't got that. So guess what we need? We need Zone of the Enders 2. You ain't got no new Midnight Club. Okay? Need I go on? There's a lot of games on the PS2 that folks trying to play. Okay? Even PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, let's not act like you couldn't make well and show some value in your system. I mean, like, Xbox One Pass, I mean, I'm on board for it. It's a lot of games in there. I mean, obviously, I guess the one thing is like, yeah, it's a stack of games. They're giving you games 2 games a month, and there's Xbox One Pass. And so, if anything, if you say you can't find something to play on Xbox, and I'm talking about games in general. If you're saying new generation game, AAA titles, then I'll give you that because you're looking for the Uncharted, you're looking for the Halo stuff. But if you're just talking about general, I want to play games, then there's a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. There's more than you can do. You know, there's more than you can play, multi-plat or not. You know, if you want to keep it exclusive, then honestly, that's why you need to get every console. Because with every console, you'll be able to have ability to play everything in particular. And now that the One X can play multi-plats potentially at a high, I'm not going to say guaranteed because it really depends on the developer or maybe the hardware can do it itself without input from them. But if they can play the games, the multiplats at a higher level, then that's what I'm playing. I'm going to continue playing them on the One X. And I'll have a PS4 Pro by then because I want to play like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, we already proved that theory with Tekken 7.
Oh, yeah.
Getting better.
Oh, yeah, because you can get more matches on that joint than
Sony servers is trash. Oh, I don't know if you heard about this. So, the new Tomb Raider might be Xbox One exclusive. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Because...
Wait, that got announced?
Yeah.
Yo, where have I been at? Like, yo, hold up.
Yeah, so...
I did not even see it.
Because Square got rid of IDOS and Crystal Dynamics.
Well, I know that, but I didn't hear the new Tomb... I didn't know a new Tomb Raider is being developed because, like, I didn't hear... Was that, like, after E3? Or was that during
the week of?
Where was your boy at?
Shadow.
I did not... Let me tell you something. Tomb Raider is one of the best games I've ever played. I don't know how many times I've said this. You still haven't played it. You need to
get on it today.
So now you can.
After I hit the lab, you know, so that Tekken after that. Oh man, that first match, that perfect. I'm scarred.
Yo, he jumped in there and was wild. Shadow the Tomb Raider. Oh man.
And that would actually be good if they did get that as an exclusive, so they would finally have something to combat. Is that in-game graphics?
I don't know. That's somebody just on their computer.
Oh. Well, I mean, that would combat... So basically, if y'all look at what Sony's doing with Uncharted, since they wrote off Nathan Drake, and they got Chloe, the girl from Uncharted 2, So you can see what they're doing now. They're trying to go head to head with.
Well, you mean a full exclusive, or we're talking about like a timed one? Like, to be honest, his Tomb Raider came out on PS4 so later that it was just like, yo, you ain't already played this. Like I already played it, so it's not like I don't care if they got extra looking better or whatever on the Pro and all that. I'm just like, listen, I already played this game.
Microsoft already made a bid to buy the company.
Yeah.
To make them a first party.
They should, because that game was incredible. Anybody that hasn't played Tomb Raider, I don't care if it's on Xbox or PS4, like, go and do that immediately. Because that game was excellent. Watch. When you start getting deep into it, you're going to hit me up and be like, yo.
How did I sit on this for a year and a half?
Dude, I burned through that beat it and trade. Like, I literally, like, did not put that down until I beat it. I was like, yo, this is too good. It was too good. Now, see, games like that for me, though, once I go through them once, I can't really go back and, like, collect stuff because I'm just, like, it felt so good the first time, like, experiencing the stuff. See, so if I go back again, I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, I know it's over here. I know it's around the corner. The bear is going to jump out. Or I know it's going to happen. I'm going to fall through the ground right here, you know? So it kind of takes it away. So I just, like, playing through it one time and just having that experience. I usually don't keep those. Same thing with, like, Last of Us and Uncharted and stuff like that. Like, I played through it. Last of Us, I can't remember that well. You know why? Because I was playing it so sporadically between other games that I don't have, like, a clear picture of, like, how I played through that. So I kind of want to go back to that and, like, play through it and kind of remember. Because, like, to be honest, like, I got, like, bits and pieces because I was playing so many other games at the same time. So I can't really remember all that. But as far as, like, Microsoft, they did their thing at E3. I mean, in total, everybody did what they're supposed to do. I want to go to E3, and I need to try to plan for that next year somehow, some way.
We need to do like Alpha did and get them early bird tickets for the cheap.
Well, I want to go. I was telling Andre that, too. I was like, I want to go to this E3. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to leave my family. They're like, yo, yeah, we're going to. You stay here. So I can make it. They can come, and I mean, she doesn't have to come with me there, but I'm thinking of telling her, like, how about we do this with her? I'm thinking about doing this with her mom. Like, because her mom wants to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, we can just meet there. I can go to E3 that day. Y'all can go do something. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely wouldn't want to drag Zuri through, a 4-year-old through E3 with all them crowds of people because I'm be stressed about him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
Nobody touch him or we're going to be out here fighting. You know, like, so. But I'm thinking of going and being like, have everybody there, and then, like, if Alpha's there or you or me or whoever else, we could just go there and just, like, 3 days and just go in on the whole time.
Because he's doing next year, too.
No, I really want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to go. Like, and it's not impossible. It's not like I'm like, yo, I want to go to Europe and see some, you know, special event. This is actually feasible. You know, all I need is just get the ticket, get the plane ticket. We can, man, if you want to really do it, I mean, I was telling her, I was like, she was like, oh, what, like, hotel? I'm like, man, I would Airbnb a house. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'll be in there like, how do y'all want to do this? We can combine forces and take somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? 400 and 500 a night split, like, you know, 6 ways is nothing. You know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy on paper, but in reality, it's way cheaper. Them hotels in L.A., Alpha was in the streets.
For real. Yo, he hit up the spots you said to eat, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Did he go to Egg Slut? How do you like it?
He said it's amazing.
People like that joint's banging. Yeah, those are spots. I mean, like, whenever I'm, like, watching food places, I always, like, put a list out of, like, states and be like, yeah, I gotta try this. I gotta try this spot. The other spot called the Social Drink, where he has this thing called the Tomahawk Steak. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, a steak that comes on a stick that people, if you go on Instagram, if you have a picture holding this massive, like, steak on it. It looks insane. I'm sure it's hella expensive. There's no way that much steak can, like, $60. Like, for real. Like, but there's, like, videos of that as well. But, yeah, next year, I definitely want to go to E3 because it's an easy event. It's cool, and I kind of want to. I think it'll be a little easier than this year because everything was so new. I think he called like a. I'm not saying the crowd won't be as big next year, but I think that next year will be kind of the year where everything's like in this mode. And One X will have been out. Switch will have been out for a year. So now we're kind of getting into our groove. Like, all right, let's see what we got going. You know. It should be interesting, but yeah, I definitely want to go. I was looking up stuff on I have the Airbnb app on here, not anymore. I was looking on Airbnb, just like what spots in LA like you can rent, Like, if you go on there, you can see stuff to rent that's, like, mad cheap and everything that we can use. That'll be dope. But, pretty much got nothing else. Keep it short on this one. E3 was cool. I mean,
I think, I think everyone did good at E3.
Yeah,
and I'm going to give it up to all the companies. Like, I know you got YouTubers and people in forums that are feeling some kind of way, but, I mean, 2018 is going to be a stacked year.
Yeah.
That's just...
It's just that people want, everybody has to have a justification, right? So the 1X rants are just like, oh, it doesn't do 4K at 60 frames, but it does it at 30 frames. I'm like, so are you arguing that it can't do resolution, or are you arguing about frames per second?
And all the arguments
but it can do it. It just depends on the game. And at the end of the day, though, it's like you're not forced to buy the 1X, right? And that's why I'm always like, why y'all mad? That's like, if I'm a car person, that's like me going to the Lamborghini dealership and yelling at them that they're charging $400,000 when I can get a Corvette or a GTR that can kind of match the performance. Like, you don't got to buy a 1X, right? Nobody, and they even, and I started understanding their stance when Phil Spencer had having those interviews, and he was saying, like, no, if you have a 1 or a 1S and you don't want to buy an X, that's good too. You're just as important. He's like, this is for the people that want to buy an Elite controller and a 1X. You know what I'm saying? They want the higher quality. Like, why don't they buy a PC? Like, maybe they don't want to build a PC. And, like, that argument I have is all the time is like, yo, if you don't have one, if you don't have a PC already, like, right now I have a PC. Somebody can argue with me and say, why don't you spend that $500 and buy yourself a 1080 card? I'm like, I could do that. I was like, but my thing about when I'm playing certain games like Xbox and PC is that I like the interaction between live, like communicating on sending invites, talking and chatting. I like that interface. And my PC kind of becomes like a world of other things, right? Music production, checking things online, emails, notifications, doing work, working on projects, things inside of Office. Like, I use it for a lot of other things. Like, whenever I was building my PC, like, I never looked at it like I'm building a gaming PC. I was like, I need this thing to do a variety of different things. Gaming may be in there. If I was building a straight gaming PC, I actually would have saved myself a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have been like, I could have dumped all my money on a video card, got 8 gigs of memory, an i5 or something, and a little SSD, and been like, I'll put everything else on the terabyte thing and been straight. And I would have spent less money. But I was like, I need memory so I can have multiple applications open, so I can run Pro Tools with multiple tracks on it, so I can, download things in the background and have tabs open to listen to music and stream and do all this stuff simultaneously. So it makes the build more expensive. Now, I do want to build something else. I want to build that AMD thing. I got to find a way to sell the parts. And it's not easy out here because, like, there isn't really a market in Hawaii for, like, PCs. I see a bunch on there. People trying to flip for, like, $2,000, $1,500. Some of them better specs to me. So I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of these parts. I kind of feel like I need to go with that. I went to that Reddit page on a hardware swap, and I think that's how I'm going to have to end up selling these pieces if I want to.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to sell without getting the money to buy it and then sell it after, because it's like there's going to be a moment where you're going to be out of a computer, and it's the only computer I got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's not really conducive to what I'm trying to do. But hopefully, depending on the price of the Threadripper in Vega and stuff like that, I want to go that route because it's new, right? I know the smart route might be a Threadripper like a 1080 or something, but 1080 Ti's is just. I looked at the price yesterday because the dude I work with was like talking about getting one, and we looked at the price. Them just is $700, and I'm like, yo, $700
in comparison to
I can't do $700. Like, I better be playing all my games on my PC.
You better be doing Pixar work stuff.
Not even if you're not. It's just like that better be your gaming system. Like, you better do everything there, and you better be cranking it up. I can't justify $700 card and then I'm also got a 1X. You know what I'm saying? I want a better card there to play some games, but it's like, do I need it to be that crazy, or is like a 1070, 1060 a better option for that?
Joy-Cons.
That's actually a good price. So, anyways, that's our episode this week. Cut a little short. I gotta go bounce, head over back to this park where my son is at, so we can see what they're up to. A lot of information next week. I'm sure there's gonna be some stuff happening and whatnot. What is this? Yeah, we got Pro controllers for the Switch for $55. Yo, if you're in Hawaii and you listen to this, somebody's on Craigslist selling a Pro controller for the Switch for $55.
Or 2 for $100. That's cheap. That's cheap.
2 for $100. That's a good what? How much is it?
Like 70. No, they're like $80.
Are they 80?
I believe so.
That's because people are still trying to flip a switch and realize that they missed that window. Y'all ain't as swift as me, okay? Day one, I had 4 on me, and I flipped all 3 to pay for my 1 and all the games I got for it. So y'all ain't swift enough. Anybody buying a Switch right now for $400, you're crazy. Just wait. They're in stock.
You
trust
can
me.
walk in Best Buy, GameStop.
Yeah, you can get them.
Yeah.
They're here. But anyways, this is another episode. We talk about some games, interesting stuff, our own opinion on things. You know where to catch this. Soon enough, it'll be on like Shout Engine and other places. We're also probably going to start recording this through Skype because our schedules is crazy. And Skype actually makes a lot of sense because we can do it fast and we also can record it simultaneously. Oh, I want to do that. We're going to do an episode that's strictly about games because we like talking about them. So I kind of want to give, like today, I kind of want to give one episode full reign. But I'm going to find a way to record it as we're playing the game. So it's going to be like a stream and us just talking while we're playing. Similar to people do when they're talking, doing new stuff on YouTube.
You can do it Twitch.
You can do it via Twitch and stuff like that. I don't know if you get... I wonder... Wait a minute. That's a good idea. Hosting a podcast through Twitch?
And you still have your Connect, right?
Yeah, I still got mine. Hosting a podcast through Twitch would be like... That might be a smart idea.
You should... we actually should start putting some of these on Twitch because Twitch has a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea to do this as well on there for those episodes. How do they get... Wait, they're putting normal podcasts on there?
Normal and video ones.
I gotta see how to do this. I gotta dive deeper. Hey, I'm just in the beginning. I'm only on episode 7, okay? But as you learn more things, the podcast world is still very new. There's still a lot of people jumping in. I think I'm gonna use Shout Engine to like put stuff up so that I can have it in different places. And I need to talk to one of Josh's friends who does graphic design because I want him to create a thumbnail or something. I want him to create like what I drew, but I want him to... I have an idea to like... I think I kind of want it more digitized. Like I want it looking like 8-bit. I can't do it. I tried. I looked it up. I was trying to mess around with my computer. I was in Adobe. I closed it down. Like nope.
For the logo or for the...
For the whole logo and the image, I kind of now want... I like what I did, but then now I want it to be 8-bit almost looking. I can't even do it. I tried. I was in Adobe. I turned that joint off. I tried to look at a YouTube, like how to learn how to do the graphic in Adobe. I'm like, chill. It was like a 3-hour video. I'm like, you know what? Honestly, it's not happening anytime soon. Adobe is serious business, yo. Like whenever I'm in there, like uploading this little video, I figured out what I need to do just to get this on a one image to put to YouTube was long enough. Like rest of y'all, even you, DV editing videos, like. I got a lot to learn. I see how people use Final Cut Pro, though, because you can copy and paste stuff in. Adobe is a whole nother...
and it loads quicker, too.
It's a whole nother ball game on Adobe. Because I think, doesn't DV use that? Adobe?
He uses that, and I got the Sony Vegas. Did you ever install it?
No, because I think that link, I think I lost it. But you can send it to me again.
It. Yeah, Adobe, the Vegas is the closest to Final Cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's super easy to use. But that Adobe is just... I gave up on it.
I gotta go do that. Well, anyways, guys, it's your boy Cameron, Mr. Biggs. You know to catch this. YouTube, Tech, Etc.Podcast. My lovely host. Always here, my boy.
It's your boy,
my
Mekel.
Mans.
It's Mekel Casanova coming at y'all. This is another podcast. You can catch me on Twitter, Mekel James. You can catch me on Instagram, Mekel Casanova. I need to unify all my stuff.
Nah, it's kind of, well, that's if your name's available, but you see, it's mad work to host all these social media things.
It really is. I'm actually getting rid of my regular Facebook and just using the
fan page stuff.
Yeah.
That could be easy. I mean, I I'll post on my stuff to Facebook. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Catch you next week. Us and the traffic in the background.
Wow.
Peace out.